Welcome back, guys, and if you're new, welcome to the channel. For those of you that are new, basically what we have going on is 1994 Accord with the F22B1, which actually came in the EX models. We just bolted a GT30 from PureTurbos onto it. Some I built the block and tuned it on E85. For those of you that are interested in more details, I will have a video in the future doing a full rundown of the car. But yeah, check out these clips I have for you guys. Nothing too crazy, but I figured you guys would enjoy it. And for those of you following the build, feel free to stick around till the end. Yeah, the car's been running for a while, and it feels weird to go backwards on my videos, but I don't want to leave you guys hanging, so I'm still going to upload every single thing I did up until the end. So after he revved at us, we asked him if he wanted to do a pull, which we already wanted to do. But he agreed, and he went over to the fast lane, and he was waiting for us to honk it off. But I don't have a working horn, so I'm like, you know what, just go, and then as soon as you go, I'm gonna follow you. Next one's kind of hard to understand, but check it out. So we were driving down Mexico once again, and there was this Corvette. We were trying to get his attention, but he wouldn't look over because we looked like regular ass traffic. But eventually a Subaru drove by and they started going at it, and then I went at it with the Subaru. After I did the run with the Subaru, for some reason the Corvette didn't really want to go at it. He was just doing like one gear pulls and then hitting the brakes. I'm not sure what he was doing. One more! And then the last run is the Corvette versus the Subaru. I tried to jump in there, but I didn't really get a chance to line up with their cars properly. But it was still a decent run. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you guys think. I do read every single comment as always, and feel free to stick around to watch the rest of the build. I showed you guys the first part of getting the valve cover ready, like welding the catch can vents. After that, I got it powder coated candy apple red, I believe it was called, and now it just needs the finishing touches. I have to put the baffles on back for good. So before it was spot welds, as you saw in the other video, I just drilled them out. Some people just bolt this in and they call it a day, but I'm terrified that this will fall out and into my valve train and then, you know, kill my motor. So my brother tapped it for a 10mm bolt. I think this is one of the easiest ways to reattach it. Obviously clean it back up really good and then tack weld from the bolt to the baffle. I hit it with the wire wheel and some simple green, cleaned it up a little bit. Okay, there you go. I got the bolts in. Everything is down to bare metal. Tack the bolts in so they don't come loose. And that's what it looks like. Now I just gotta press in the spark plug tube seals. This is the block off plate for this emissions valve, which is pretty big and chunky. And it's just hanging right there on the intake manifold. And if I'm not gonna use it, might as well get rid of it. So I got the ID 1700s, the AEM fuel pressure regulator, Aeromotive liquid filled gauge, 90 degrees, so at that point's forward. I know I unboxed the AEM, the one they sent me was for an F23. I had to go with OBX or stock. So I have the clips, the injectors, they're so nice. The fuel rail I've been messing with a lot already. I already took it out and bolted it together. So yeah, it all came in different parts, but I just put everything in there. So it's gonna look something like that. Just put the 90 degree. I used the yellow Teflon, which is the fuel safe one. The other one might degrade with the fuel. Genuine Honda O-rings. Put the injectors in there before I drop it in, and then you just lean it in there and push them in. Now I just gotta run this line under this and then connect it back there. I removed the exhaust housing to take it to my brother so he can powder coat it. But yeah, that's how the turbo looks like without the housing.
My brother was busy, so I'm gonna have to ceramic coat it myself, but I'm gonna use all his stuff. And there's my old turbo.
I didn't actually record myself doing this, but all I did was I masked off all the contact areas where it's going to bolt onto something else. That way you don't have ceramic in between. I spray painted it with 3 coats, threw it in the oven, and it came out pretty good. Also, I'm fully aware this isn't the same as using, the big gun and the big industrial oven. But on my last turbo, this did last 18,000 miles of straight abuse, and it never chipped, it never broke or melted. So it works for me.
What I'm gonna do is put the turbo back on, downpipe to that to see where it's finally gonna sit. 3-inch V-band it. Well, everything on here is 3-inch. To a flex pipe so that nothing cracks when it expands with the heat. My resonator, which is this gorgeous thing. Straight through, if you saw the unboxing video. I'm gonna go ahead and hook up the turbo and see where the downpipe's gonna sit for good. I have the downpipe to this V-band, which I'm gonna have to weld at an angle so that everything else tucks in under the car nicely. Just gonna tack everything in with the welder. Alright, this is what I got going right now. So far it's all tacked up. I took it out of the car to weld it for good. But the main thing is, I took it out so I could put the O2 bung. And I decided to put it behind the V-band. That way I can just undo the V-band and take off the downpipe if I ever need to do any work without actually having to unscrew the O2 sensor. And then I'm gonna put my O2 bung right here and weld this onto the downpipe. I'm using exhaust zip ties to hold the bung in place.
After welding this bung on, it was pretty much the same thing all the way back. Test fit, tack it, weld it, and repeat all the way back.
Okay, so before I had the oil return just mocked up to see where the oil return would go, but now I'm gonna put this on for real for one final time. Put it on right there. Got the seal, the lock washers. Nice and tight and ready to go on there for a final time. Vibrant gasket, T3. What's up for? The fan is attached on the Mishimoto 3-row. Nice little compact package. I just rolled some beads using that bead roller with his help. Thank you, 454 SS, twin turbo LSX.
Now that my pipes have beads on them, I can go ahead and bolt them in for good now, so I can route my catch can lines before I cut them. This way all the lines are the perfect length, and I think it just looks a lot cleaner.
I'm almost done putting everything in. Right now I just gotta hook up a few things, like this vacuum line is not actually hooked up. Filters aren't tightened down. And I'm missing one coupler here. I don't know where my bag of couplers went. I had like 20. I gotta look for that. But besides that, it's ready to go. Everything's down tight. Ready to rock. The blow-off valve is going to be really straightforward. Obviously, it's going to go under the intake manifold so it doesn't show. Cut it and connect the T in there. And then connect an extra line that goes into the firewall for my boost gauge. This side into one of these. Probably this one right here. This little vacuum nipple. Both gauges mounted. Boom. I'm just going to tie the zip ties up and put the bottom of it on. Alright, so I'm on my way to mount these tires. They're the M&H Race Masters. Let's see, it's right here. Race Masters. They are 235s. I'm actually going to try to mount them on the stock 15s by 5.5. So here's the difference between the stock 185s and the 235s. It's actually really, really soft. Just dig your nail into it. Okay, so unfortunately they try to put these onto the Steelies and it would keep sliding off. So I'm gonna have to buy those right there. Alright, so this is what I have now. They don't look sleeper at all, so I'm either gonna plastic dip them black, or hopefully I can find a way to put a hubcap over them, zip tie it, or who knows, probably weld some tabs. I don't know, I'll figure it out. But they're too shiny. They're not sleeper. Alright, the only way I could figure out how to get the hubcap onto that wheel that does not look sleeper is to zip tie it using these spokes to those spokes. And to get it on, what I'm doing now is I'm cutting these off, breaking them off, just like that. Alright, I just got a bunch of zip ties and zip tied the hubcap on. Just chilling right now, and that's what it looks like. Lug nuts almost line up, but I don't care either way. It still looks like it's missing lug nuts from far away. It looks stock from far away, so yeah, it's pretty sleeper except for the tire being huge. I think it looks stock. Put the rear hubcap on as well. So yeah, hubcaps on some 235 Racemasters.